Welcome back to Wives on the Island. I'm Alyssa.
And I'm Jessica. And today we're going to catch up. We're going to talk about sleepovers, if you're for it or against it. Then we are going to finish up with our pop culture. We're going to talk about the new Bachelorette. We are going to do a Dancing with the Stars draft. And then we're going to finish with the unknown number recap. So if you haven't seen it, don't listen to the end until you've seen this, so we don't spoil anything for you. So how was your week, Alyssa?
It's good. It's going well. I mentioned to you, I'm getting my period, so I've been a little, angry, lately. And it's so funny. I said to my husband the other day, I was like, sorry I've been, a little, rawr. He was like, yeah. And I was like, but you love it. He goes, no, I don't. I was like, okay.
Absolutely not.
He does not like it. No, it's just when things just, you're already kind of in a bad mood and then the minor things just irritate you. I feel like that's just the mood I'm in. And I also got a stye actually after we recorded last week. Yeah, it looks a lot better. It's still there. If I look at it, I could see it. Mm-hmm. But I'm very prone to styes. My doctor's sometimes just your skin, your pores just get clogged super easily. And I know that I threw out mascara before we recorded, and then I was I had already showered, so I was I'm just going to sleep. I'm tired. And when I woke up in the morning, I was ooh, I feel it coming through, and sure enough, it did. So that was not fun, and I had to go makeup free, which isn't, I don't really mind about I don't mind not wearing makeup, but the fact that I can't wear my contacts is so annoying because my glasses are so scratched up. You don't wear glasses, right? You just born perfect vision.
I have glasses for reading and stuff.
Yeah, no, I'm blind if I don't wear my glasses or my contacts. So I had to wear my glasses, and I feel it gives me a headache because they're all scratched up, and it makes my vision blurry because they're so shitty and old and raggedy, So I was just annoyed about that. But I was you know what? I have things going on this weekend, and I want to make sure I'm good to go. But now that that's done, I'm good. My son started soccer this past weekend, and it was so cute. They announced his name, and they had him run in the field and everything. And it's an hour. Normally it's 30 minutes to 45 minutes. I think it was 30 minutes last year. But now, we kind of, leveled him up because he was always the oldest, and he's pretty good. And I just want him to be challenged. I don't want him to be I'm the best on the team.
Right.
So we leveled him up, and he's with, kids that are really good now. And he's not, the star, which I want him to, be humbled a little bit and learn things from them.
Right.
So it went really well. And I didn't want to miss it, and my husband didn't want to miss it. So we were let's just bring our daughter. Well, the first half an hour was good. The second, not so much. And she had Crocs on, and I knew I should have put sneakers on her because it's from 9:30 to 10:30, and at 10 o'clock, a 2-year-old's program does it right next to the field, right next to where my son was playing. So the lady was just come back next week and have her try it out, and if you like it, just sign up. And I was okay. So she's going to do soccer on Saturday too.
Was she interested?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So we will see. So last thing from mine, it's not really a recap, but one of our listeners, your sister-in-law, she suggested making a poll about how do you say LabCorp, no P or P. And I want to apologize to you because I corrected you saying it was LabCorp, and it's not. Everybody says LabCorp. But I will say, we did get a comment on TikTok. Literally everybody agreed, LabCorp. Right. But and there was one comment that was if the P is silent, why is it there? And I'm literally.
Same with tsunami. It starts with a T. Why?
True.
I don't understand any of this stuff. I don't get why it's there.
It is.
Because I think it's Lab Corporation.
I
right?
know. That's
it's the
what I
assumption,
too.
Right?
I don't know. But it's so funny. Me and my husband were laying in bed the other day, and we were just talking. But this was obviously before, not during one of my episodes, my crankiness. But I was I always do this thing, and I know it's so annoying, and hopefully I'm not the only woman that does this. I'm just tell me something, anything you're thinking. And usually he tells me something really nice or cute or something that he'd like that I did that day. And he's I think Jess might be right. I think it's LabCorp. And I'm
Then you got into one of your episodes. You're like, fucking
no. I was like, yeah, I think so too, honestly. Like, everybody's saying Lab Corps. Because he's like, like Marine Corps. It's Corp.
It is.
So Corp. I was like, yeah. But I just thought it was funny that it was on his mind too, like, during that. Funny. So,
That's funny. I love it.
I like how you made a face at me when I said, like, I tell him to tell me something cute.
Yeah, I don't want that.
I'm such a Cancer. I need, like, the emotional,
Because if I asked my husband to tell me what he was thinking or tell me something nice, he'd be like, well, at work I have this PowerPoint that I don't want to hear that, so.
Yeah, that's funny. But how was your week?
Well, my week was fine. I literally do nothing. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like now that I have older kids, I don't do anything. Like, like my daughter works and then I do stuff at home, and I meal prepped for lunch this week, and I meal prep all the time, but usually I don't meal prep. I usually make it the day before, like my lunch the day before. But I was like, I'm trying to eat more protein. And so I did like this protein pasta, some chickpeas, some banana peppers, some turkey pepperoni, and I sliced it, and I sliced the turkey, and then I did lettuce, and then a little bit of Olive Garden dressing, because it's my favorite. But I don't put the dressing on the salad until the day of. Like,
Yeah.
We don't need that.
It's giving sub in a tub.
It kind of is, yeah, right? Yeah. So it's so good, though, with my little chickpeas, and it has been so good. And then we have a coworker that's leaving, and we went out to lunch yesterday, and I was like, can't eat my lunch. I was kind of sad. So I have it for tomorrow. While I'm working from home, so I have lunch. That was pretty much like the highlight. I was like, yes. I was telling my daughter, I was like, ooh, I meal prepped, and she's like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, well, not that exciting for you, but it was exciting for me, and my husband's going to be traveling, so now I have to figure out what I'm going to eat, because I'm not doing Tostitos. I'm not going to do my pizza rolls.
That's disappointing. But you know what? If it doesn't hit the spot anymore, maybe find like a new one that's like a little healthier.
Well, you know what I did? I bought a spaghetti squash, because I really love making a spaghetti. So I might do that, spaghetti squash. Yeah.
Do you know that there was like this meal thing that went like viral? It was ground beef with the sweet potato, avocado, cottage cheese with the honey. So we like that in our house. That's like a fan favorite. But I tried to switch it up. And I did. And my husband only really likes ground turkey. I don't know why. Like, he said the ground beef is not hitting it the same. So whatever. Ground turkey, avocado, butternut squash. And everybody seemed to... My son was like, because he just like is... I feel like he just tries to give me a hard time.
Yeah.
Yeah. But he eats it. He likes it. But he does it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we did... I don't do cottage cheese. Like, no. And then I did Greek yogurt. Yeah, but like... on top like that.
So I do cottage cheese, but I blend it so that it's...
and then you put it on...
And then I put it on top. I would put it on top because I don't like Greek yogurt. I don't like the way that Greek yogurt tastes plain by itself. My kids do. Like, my kids eat... Like, they use it.
Do you like sour cream?
I do. I love sour cream. And they use...
Girl,
my
it's
kids
the same
use...
thing.
No, it's not. Greek yogurt has like...
I've literally tricked my husband. I
cannot be fooled because my kids do it all the time. They use it instead of sour cream. They use Greek yogurt. I hate it. I think it is so gross. Gosh. So I would rather have cottage cheese blended because that cottage cheese freaks me out, and it's curd. It freaks me out. I don't like it at all. So I always blend it so that way it looks like, and then I'd rather have that.
Oh my God, that's so funny. Yeah, no, I was really hesitant about the change from sour cream to Greek yogurt. Once I did it, I was like, I really don't taste the difference. And then when I do tacos, I like put everything out on the board, like on a board for us to like kind of, put together. And then I put the Greek yogurt in like in a little serving thing. So I was like, oh, just me. And I used to do that with the sour cream too sometimes. Right. So I was like, there's no, what is this? Like, and I've tricked my husband, I've tricked my kids, I've tricked my mother-in-law.
Oh, see, that's good. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, then, hey, If they think it works, I'm not a fan. I don't like it. I tried it when I was doing Weight Watchers, and everybody was like, use this, do that. And I tried it, and I just couldn't. I don't know. I couldn't do it. Now, the only time I will do Greek yogurt is I'll put like the ranch packet in it and make it like a ranch dressing. So that I will do, and it doesn't bother me. Yeah, it's pretty good. And it's good for, like I said, when I was doing Weight Watchers, if you do the fat-free Greek yogurt and you do the ranch packet and you eat vegetables, it's 0 points. So I would just eat it all the time. Like, that's how I eat my vegetables.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. So so I do have a question for you because I don't know if you could see, but I'm like, my grays are graying and they're popping through my hair color. So usually I have the same hair color that I've been box dyeing my hair with. I'm thinking about going black. Do you
mentioned.
Do you think I should? Or do you think I should just do like a extremely dark brown? Like, see if I could find like a dark brown.
If you do black, your grays will be more noticeable.
That is my fear.
That's the only thing. From somebody who basically has black hair, I do like that. I mean, granted, I didn't dye like my hair up here to a lighter color, but I feel like because I have like the highlights and stuff, I can get away with getting them, away more. Mm-hmm. I mean, it is so dark to begin with. It's not so dark, but...
No, but what I was thinking was, so the struggle that I have is, like, when the grays come in, I can't do, like, you know how, like, Nice and Easy or those have, like, the things where you could just do the brush? Like, you just brush it. Yeah, that's what you do. But they don't have that for the color that I dye my hair. So it's like, so every time I dye my hair, I have to do my whole head. Where, like, my whole head doesn't need to be done. So it's like, do I do a darker color? I love this, like, reddish brown. But it's like, do I do a darker color because I want to be able to just touch it up and not have to use,
I say yes, then.
Okay, so I'm going to do it. So next week when you see me, I'll be black. Yeah, my hair will be black.
Haired.
Yeah. I'm already black, but my hair will be black. So yes. Okay. So I'm going to do it. I'm going to go out tomorrow and pick up a box and I'm going to do it. So we'll see how that goes.
I mean, it's just hair,
It is. It'll come out or go back. So
exactly.
Okay. So that's my recap. I had nothing exciting. It's very sad.
Well, we have a busy episode, so I feel like we can get right into it then.
Yep. So our topic for the week is sleepovers. And I know that you and I grew up very differently. You were not allowed to have sleepovers, whereas I slept over people's house, people slept over my house, and now that my kids are older, they didn't do a lot of sleeping over, but I definitely had restrictions, or not restrictions, but I was a little nervous because I had never thought about it before. You know what I mean? Like, I lived in a tight-knit neighborhood where everybody knew each other. My mom was a stay-at-home mom, so she knew all the parents. And I think I might have had like 2 or 3 friends that didn't live in my neighborhood. And again, my mom knew all their parents. So we were allowed over, we slept over all the time, and I slept over all the time. But, and so it was never an issue. But nowadays, I think I don't think neighborhoods are like that. Or a lot of neighborhoods aren't like that. So I don't know that I felt comfortable when it came time to my kids. I think my youngest daughter has maybe had 2 sleepovers, and my oldest daughter only had 4 friends that I let her sleep over their house. Like, she did it a lot, but it was only 4. Like, she wasn't just sleeping over everybody's house. So what was it for your parents? Did they allow people to sleep over your house?
I know I definitely had one friend who was able to sleep over, and she's been my friend since 4th grade. And maybe one of my other friends too. I can't remember though if she slept over or not. I can't remember. But I grew up in a very traditional Hispanic Italian household that I'm not sleeping over anywhere. I remember I slept over, my first sleepover was probably when I was like 16, 14, and it was with my friend who I've been friends with since 4th grade. Okay. And our families were very close. Our parents knew each other, everything. I slept over her house twice, and that was really it. Like, my parents just didn't like it, and growing up I was like, oh my god, that's so dumb. Like, why wouldn't they? I just didn't understand. And now having children, this topic actually came from another one of our listeners who suggested this topic for us to discuss. And I just was like, immediately like, no, my kids aren't sleeping over anywhere. Like, as soon as she put it in our suggestion box. I was like, no, I would never. But then I really thought about it, and I was like, how did I feel? As a kid, I hated that my parents always said I couldn't sleep over my friend's house. Especially, like, I had to argue with my dad so hard when the one sleepover I had was for my friend's 16th birthday, and all of our friends were sleeping over. And it's like, I didn't want to be the one to go home early,
Right.
or have to, like, miss out on that or something, like, so I was like, I don't want to do that to my kids, but I guess it's like you really have to know the parents.
Yeah.
And like, granted, I'm not at that stage in my life and kids' lives to be sleeping over anywhere.
Right.
And I don't think that's really like a boys thing.
I
Like,
was
I don't
gonna
think
say,
I'll,
I don't think boys sleep over. I think
yeah.
my husband said, like, when he got older, he would stay at his friend's house, like, when they were like 15,
Yeah.
16, when they learned how to drive, and they would like hang out and then just sleep.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think it was like, oh, you're sleeping over my house tonight.
Yeah.
Girls were like, can I
Yeah.
sleep over? Ask your mom,
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I don't think I'll have to deal with that for a while. And like, I will say I only have like one, maybe two friends here that have kids like my kids' age that I would be like, okay, like you could sleep over and I would feel 100% good with them going over there and staying over there. But then, sometimes just like every parenting style is different, and like, what if a case of an emergency? And my stance is like, if you want to have a sleepover, you can sleep over at my house. But I will say, like, what makes me so special? And I think
Right.
my caveat here too is, let's say my daughter, she wants to have a sleepover with all her friends, and some parents are weird about it. I have a boy in the house.
You do.
Like that might turn some people off. Like, I have a son, and he's
And
not
he's
much older
older.
than her.
Yeah,
Well,
but he
not
is
much
older.
too.
You know what I mean? Not
Yeah,
much,
he is older.
So he could bring
Yeah.
his friends over, and that could be, yeah.
Yeah.
And, it's
so
funny, I never thought about that. Like, I never thought about that. Moving here, I was definitely more leery. I don't know that I'd be as worried if we lived in Jersey because, like I said, in Jersey, I had my mom group, and most of the people that we were friends with were they were all sisters. I think there was one lady that had her daughter that was in my oldest daughter's grade, and then the rest were boys. And so, but I would have let my daughter sleep over her house anyway. It wouldn't have bothered me at all. Because she had younger brothers, so like they were like young,
Mm-hmm.
But here, I never thought about the fact of having brothers in the house or anything like. Because my best friend has an older brother, and
Mm-hmm. You have a
I
brother.
loved him, but he wasn't looking at me. I was like 6 years younger than him, 4 years younger than him. I had a crush on him, but he was like, "Get out of here!" You know what I mean? Like you're a baby.
He was a little too. Yeah, he was. But that's why I say my son's not that much older.
Yeah,
than
your
her.
son's
Like,
not that much older.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
but I
he
never
could
thought
be
about that.
at the-
Right.
Yeah.
And it's not even like, it could be like, I don't know, but my fear here was people who owned guns. That was like a big thing. I didn't want my daughter sleeping over people's houses because I don't know who has guns in their house, and you don't know how people we talked about it. You don't know how people lock up their guns. You don't know, do their kids find it and be like, oh, this is cool, you know what I mean? So for me, I think that made me more hesitant, and the parents that my kids slept over, I asked them, is there a gun on the house? I mean, they told me no. Could there have been? I mean, there could have been. They could have just said no. I don't know. But that made me feel better. And then, like I said, my daughter, she was a little nerdy, and her little friends were a little nerdy too. So they weren't doing stuff like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I wasn't worried. My youngest one, she had one friend spent the night here, and like you said, I like that better. I would rather have them here. My husband wants no part of that because they're loud, and girls are extremely loud, and they laugh and giggle all night and stay up and just have a blast, but they're a pain in the butt. But yeah, and then her other friend, I let her spend the night, and she had like 3 brothers, and they were all like a year or two apart from my daughter's age, but the dad was like super strict, and she wasn't allowed to sleep over here, and he was like I keep them separated. I don't allow the boys to go near the girls. My the stepmom stayed with the girls like pretty much all night until they went to bed, and like he was like, I promise, and I was like, okay. It wasn't a big deal, but I think that is a fear. I never thought about that. Again, because when I grew up, it wasn't like that. Our neighborhoods, we all knew each other. We had mixed sleepovers, like for sometimes, because all of the parents would, all the kids in the neighborhood would sleep over. You know what I mean? Like, that was kind of how it was. So, I don't know. I think it's...
Yeah, I know. I don't know. I think I will try to be open to it as much as possible. I think I need to know, like, the parents. There would be no way my kid comes home and it's like, oh, I want to sleep over so-and-so's house. And I'm like, who? I don't know them. I don't know the parents. I don't know. That's a hard no. I need to know them. I need... You get a vibe from a parent.
You do. First
meeting, even second meeting, that you know, it's a pretty... I feel like you can get that, like, no... Like, this is not gonna, I don't feel comfortable with this, like, right away. And then if I get a good vibe, it's like, okay, you feel them out, you know, like, a couple times. And then, you make that decision. But there's, like, no way after, like, one or two visits, I'd be like, yeah. Or, like, meeting them, I would have to, like, really know them. And, like you said, guns in the house, that's a big one.
Yeah. And,
like, animals, I feel like, too, because, like, some people, like, you know, don't train their animals. I feel, you know, they have, like, wild animals.
Yeah,
sometimes they're just...
It's just a nibble. She's just playing with you. And no. It's like biting off the skin of your arm. Yeah.
Yeah. No, and I have a dog. Granted, she's good, but if, like, a child felt uncomfortable, I would absolutely, like, keep her away. Like, she could say, you know, we'll figure it out. But just to be transparent with them. But, yeah, it's a topic that it's, like, I guess depending how you grow up. But I think... Like you said, you grow up doing it all the time, but you still then when you have your own children, you're like, wait, I have to think about all these other things and, like, you know, and other, like, if you're okay with it, you have to deal with the other parents.
Right.
You know, it's like, especially if you're okay with it, like, literally no concern, you're like, well, what makes you so special? Like, why do you not trust me? Do you think I'm a bad parent? Like, I would feel like some type of way, too, if I was like, oh, no, I can't have my kid sleeping at your house, but, like, they could stay at mine.
But they could stay at mine,
like, you know, but I will say, like, I was so mad at my parents growing up for not letting me do that, but, like, understand it. Do I still wish they would have let me have done it? Yes, because, like, I feel like I was a good kid. I didn't, like, do anything crazy. I wasn't, like, a partier or anything.
Right, you were like,
it wasn't because they didn't let me.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I feel like they didn't let me off the rope to let me get to that point.
That's true.
You know what I mean? Like, I could have, but I didn't have accessibility.
But you didn't have the chance. Yeah, you didn't have the chance to do it. Which, I mean, the other thing I find that you have to do, and this is something that we've always, I mean, we're very open with our children, we try to be open about everything. So we talk to them about, like, if somebody touches you, if you feel uncomfortable, you call us. It doesn't matter what time of night it is. We will always come get you. If something is going on, and my husband is super, I would say, overbearing, but, like, protective of the way that my children are. So, like, if he heard of a story, like, remember, I don't know if you remember that story where the girl had, like, her 12th birthday party and the dad drugged the kids. He put sedatives in a smoothie, and when the girls fell asleep, he came downstairs and he was putting his finger under their nose to make sure that they were asleep, and he was, like, trying to fondle them a little bit. But one of the girls at the party didn't drink the smoothie because she thought it tasted funny. So she pretended to be asleep when he came down because everybody else was, and she kind of saw what he was doing. She called her parents, and she couldn't get her parents, so then she called, I guess, a neighbor or something, because it was like 2 a.m. So, like, they just didn't answer the phone right away, I think is what, because they called back, and the dad actually came to get her, and the dad wouldn't let the dad in the house. He was like, oh, they're sleeping, I don't know why. And he's like, no, my daughter's not sleeping, she called me. And then he took 2 of the girls home, and he took them to the hospital, and they had found that the guy had put sedatives in there. And my husband was like, he read the story to them. He was like, this is, you know, like, he goes, this is an extreme. This doesn't happen all the time. Yeah. This is, like, something that happened, and it was, like, somewhere, God knows where. And he was like, this isn't the extreme, but these are things that can happen. And if you're feeling uncomfortable at any time of the sleepover, please call us. It could be nothing, but if you don't feel comfortable, call us. Like, we are always will be available for you to call us. So those were always conversations. Once my kids started sleeping over, that was we had conversations all the time about it. Like, because anybody can seem normal. You know what I mean? Anybody can, you know, you could know them for years and they could be a predator. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, you don't know. And sometimes it's a guy, sometimes it's a woman. Like, you don't know. A predator could be anybody. So we wanted to make sure that if our kids are sleeping over, they are aware of what is out there, and you know, call the cops or call us, because you know.
Yeah, that's really scary. No, and you know what I said, like meeting the parents, it's like meeting both of them. Like you have to meet the mom and the dad, because you know, like you gotta know. Honestly, meet the whole family. If you got siblings, like let me meet them too. Because you never know how other kids, other spouses are. Yeah, it's a really touchy subject. So hopefully she doesn't want that many sleepovers. I think my husband's like okay with it, to be honest, but I'm more hesitant about it, which is kind of crazy because like I said, growing up, I'd be like, I never do this to my kid, but I get it. And I hate like the sexist thing about it, like having a boy versus a girl. But it's like, it's so true. And I wouldn't say, I'm still hesitant to like have my son do it. But I just feel like maybe I feel less concerned about it because like I don't think he'll sleep over much. I mean, it only takes one time, but still there's something, I don't know. it just doesn't feel the same as having a daughter, you know?
I mean, I don't have a son, but I get it. I understand that because my dad, I feel like my dad was that way. Like, you know, there were certain things he felt more comfortable my brother doing, but, you know, because I was his daughter, no, that's, you know, no, that's not okay kind of thing. And my mom would try to stop that, but I understand where it comes from because, I mean, boys are victims of predators as well. However, we don't hear about it as much. We hear more about it for girls. So you're more on edge with girls. You know what I mean? Like you're more, you know, I don't know. I think it's scary when you let your kids out in the world, no matter who it is, even if you know that. I mean, you know what I mean? My oldest one had her friend's parents were both teachers. So I was like, shoot, they work in our county.
Childcare.
You know what I mean? Like they're fine, basically. You know, but I mean, how many times do we see teachers, men and women teachers that are predators? You know what I mean? So it's like, I think that I try not to see the worst and try to be like, you have to let your kids like part from home, but then I understand the fear of, you know what I mean? And then the other thing for you, I don't think that this would ever be a problem, but do you ever worry about the fact like somebody wants to sleep over with your daughter because she has a crush on your son? Like, you know what I mean? Like she doesn't really want to hang out with your daughter. She wants to be like, oh, what is he doing? Let's go hang out with your brother kind of thing.
No, it's definitely crossed my mind because like I had little brothers growing up. So I have little brothers, period. So I like nobody's ever looked at my brothers, but like, you know, I had friends that had like older cousins and stuff that I was like, I don't think a lot of my friends had brothers, to be honest. But yeah, I thought about it because they are 3 years apart, but they're only 2 school years apart. So I was like, oh my God, like my son's going to be that older brother kind of deal, you know? So like, you know, and I know like it's my kid, but he is so freaking cute too.
He's a cutie pie. So as he gets older, he's just going to get even cuter. So yeah, I get it. Yeah. So, but
I actually have thought about it because there's this one mom that I know from the Moms Club, and her daughters, oh my God, are so freaking cute too. And one is exactly my daughter's age, like they're a month apart, and then another one is my son's exact age, 6 days apart. And I was like, oh my God, it'd be so cute if him and like the older one got married. Like they're two beautiful kids. And then I was like, well, honestly, the other one's only 3 years younger. Like, that's not crazy either. You can have, you know.
Right,
I was like, and I love this mom, and her husband is really cool. And I was like, oh my God, they'd be great in-laws. Like, I'm one of those, like, toxic mothers who's, like, already, like, planning their kids' weddings. Yeah, so.
But I love it. You mean well.
No, I do. I mean well. I just want them to be happy with the people I choose. No, I'm just kidding. So, no, I have thought about it.
Yeah, I was just wondering because, like I said, my best friend's brother was attractive. Like I said, he wasn't looking at me, but he was attractive. And I remember being like, "Oh, let's just go and see what he's doing." And she'd be like, "Ew, get out of here. We're not doing that." You know?
Yeah, right.
And, but yeah, it happens. But I feel like parents. I mean, it's your call, like as a parent, whether you want to do it or not. I do feel bad for the kids who aren't allowed to have sleepovers. And I just also want to just say, like I said it, and then I thought about it. We had mixed sleepovers, but the girls and boys were separated. We weren't allowed to like actually sleep with the boys. We were separated, but we were all like we started out together, and then then we were separated.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I figured. Yeah.
It wasn't like we were all like hanging out and sleeping with each other.
I will say the listener who recommended this also mentioned about parents like sleeping over grandparents, sleeping over the parents. I personally have like no problem with sleeping over my parents. My in-laws are a little far away, so it's hard to say, and like I'm just very strict with like bedtime. Maybe things will change like when they're older, you know, like I wouldn't care. I mean, I let my mother-in-law put the kids to sleep if we have to go out or if we have to do something and she's visiting, like for sure. I don't know, but she's far, so like there would never be a time where I'm like, hey, let me drive 3 hours away from like where we are in New Jersey.
Right.
Or, you know, something like that. And I'm just very strict with like bedtime routine. And, you know, when it's your parents, you can yell at them a little more. You're like, Mom, don't do that. Like, Dad, get the, you know, like, you have to remember to do this. What are you doing? Like, you can't do that with your in-laws. And if you do, like, I guess good for you. I don't know.
See, but I got lucky. I got lucky. My in-laws, well, my husband is strict. Like I said, he's even strict with his parents. So he would be like, bedtime is this time. My mother-in-law my kids were not, they were in bed. And my mom is very structured. We were on a schedule when we slept. So she never, if I said nap time was 1, my kids were in bed at like 12:50. I mean 11:50. 12:50. Yeah, 1 o'clock. Yeah. They would be 12:50. They were getting ready to get in the bed. I don't think grandparents, but you also, I mean, I get what you're saying. Right now, your kids are young and a sleep schedule is important. As they get older.
But once they get older, I'm sure it'll be different.
Grandparents are there to spoil a little bit. So you can, I don't know, I've just never had a problem. I mean, I feel like my parents raised us and we're alive.
Yeah. No, I don't think it would be a problem. That's like absolutely no brainer. I would definitely be like, yeah. And then maybe I would think about it, like where it would be the opposite of like friends. I'd be like, no. And then I'd have to think about it, like what family, I'd have to be like, yeah. And then like, wait, is that a good idea? Like even like with there would literally be no reason for like my kids to sleep over my like sister-in-laws or my brothers or anything like that. So it's really hard.
But you have a sister-in-law that has kids. You wouldn't let them sleep over?
I would.
The cousins sleep over?
Yeah, I would. 100%. Yeah.
So then there you go. There you go. I mean, and honestly, that's the best part of grandparents is like when they get like cousins and then all the cousins can sleep over at one grandparent's house. You know what I mean? Like the grandparents have them and then, you know.
Yeah, my mom actually asked me this week, she's like, are you coming out for Christmas? And I was like, no, because I never go up for Christmas anymore. Now that, you know, we have the kids. We went up one time,
that was when you guys got COVID, right?
We got COVID the one time, and then we went up the year after when I was pregnant with my daughter. And that's like the only Christmas that we like had to go Christmas up there. But then we just decided to stay home. But I did tell her, I was like, you know what, when this is my biological mom, and then my brother is with my stepmom and my dad. And I said, you know, maybe when my brother has kids, I would come out for Christmas.
That would be
because
nice.
my kids will be a little older and, you know, it'd just be different. Yeah, I was like, that's when they have cousins, you know, like, I mean, they had cousins. They're a little older, though. You know, my niece and my nephew are like 13 and 12. So it's a bit of a gap. I mean, granted, like, I guess my son will be the same age gap with my niece or nephew whenever my brother decides to have kids, too. But nonetheless, cousins. I wish.
We didn't have that. We had that on my husband's side because my brother-in-law has kids. And his oldest daughter is a couple months older than my oldest daughter. So they were close growing up. And so if she came over when my kids were in Maryland visiting, then they would all sleep over. He's got 2 younger kids. But then I have my brother, and my brother's is the same age as your daughter.
Yeah.
So like that's a massive age gap. It's like a 15-year age gap for my kids. They don't do that.
Yeah.
But my daughter would go babysit her and spend the night, so it wouldn't be a big, you know what I mean? Like it's a thing.
Yeah.
But yeah,
for sure.
I get it. I think sleepovers. Yeah. I think sleepovers are good. I think I'm gonna be honest. I know you missed out on it and you got to do it when you were 16. I think it's a rite of passage as a kid. Like I think you should at least maybe once or twice let them do it. You know what I mean? Like, even if you don't let them do it all the time, be picky about it or something. But I feel like they have to do it. They have to sleep away from you a couple of times. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I was like actually thinking like it would be so cute. I mean, granted, like I said, I want to host the sleepover, but like how cute to like have 3 of my daughters like friends, and then like downstairs, like in our living room or like in the playroom area, set up like the little teepees with a sleeping bag and have like a movie night. Like I just,
yeah,
so
that's
cute.
bougie. We just slept in that bed.
I know, but it's like, oh, it's so cute.
I love it. It is cute. It is cute.
Yeah. So, but yeah, let us know. Do you let your kids sleep over? If so, well, if not, why not?
And if you do, then maybe give some tips to the people who might be a little
how to
apprehensive
relax
about it, you know?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that was good. That was good. So now let's move on to pop culture. So the first one we want to talk about is The Bachelorette.
Taylor Frankie Paul is our next Bachelorette.
So what are your thoughts on that?
I am shocked. I saw somebody on TikTok, I think it was like Steph with Deets or something, I forget. Mm-hmm. It's like, who do you think the next Bachelorette was? And it was Taylor Frankie Paul and then Janae Craig, who was on season 6 of Love Island. You know who she is? Her boyfriend, like, just who she found on Love Island, just like cheated on her a couple months ago. They broke up. And I was like, that would be the perfect Bachelorette. Yeah. Because call her daddy, Teets, like, she's never been a part of the Bachelor franchise before. She's on another show, which the Love Island, they did, that season was so good. I didn't watch it. But it was, like, so captivating, all the people that they have a spin-off called like Beyond the Villa, where it like follows these group of friends specifically, where Janae is on. So I was like, oh, that's perfect. Like, it can't be Taylor. Like, it has a boyfriend, like this guy playing guitar and stuff, and lo and behold, she went on Call Her Daddy. I listened to the whole thing.
Oh, did you?
Research purposes, yeah. Because I was just so confused as to why she's doing this, because my thoughts are she is not stable to do this.
That's mine. I don't think she's in the right headspace for that.
I just don't think that she's the type of person that could handle like a serious heartbreak. And on these dating shows, and they've had this issue with The Bachelor before, because I listened to a lot of recaps with chicks in the office and stuff. All of these guys are here for clout. They're just trying to build a brand, make a name for themselves, and like I feel like they're just using Taylor to get their in with this, because there's so many comments that are like, I'm gonna watch this episode because I love Taylor, I always gonna support my girl, and like I may be tuning in too, but it's like now all these guys are gonna be visible. Yeah, I'll just recap you. But it's like now all of these guys are going to get, TV time and, brand deals and followers on Instagram. And then like you play your cards, right? Maybe some of the sisters know how the Bachelorette works, or they know how ex-girlfriends, they know how the Bachelorette works, and they know how to play the game to make it to the end, to say all the right things. And then, they're just in it for the money. And then maybe they like cheat on her and she finds out and she's in the same thing, but like worse, because she just did all this again with 3 kids and took time away. Like, I just don't think it's a good idea. What are your thoughts?
So I'm on the same boat as you. When we texted about it, I was like, I don't think she's stable enough for this show. She is still really like working on herself, healing herself, because I follow her on Instagram. But there are her videos of her like breaking down because she hasn't seen her kids in 3 days. You're going to be away from your kids for a long time. And I'm going to say something that may be a little bit controversial, but how would women feel? And you know me, I love Taylor. Everything that she's been through, and she can do no wrong in my book. I love Taylor. But how would we feel if the Bachelor had a domestic violence assault on his record? Would he be a bachelor? And like I said, we watched it. We saw everything that happened. She was drunk. She has sobered up. People can change, and I know that. And like I said, I love her. I'm still rooting for her. But I don't think that it would be as good. People would flip if the Bachelor had a domestic violence, assault on their record, and they were going to be with all these women. You know what I mean? I don't think she's going to beat anybody up. I mean, I don't see that happening. Yeah. But I feel like we have to be consistent. You have to be consistent across the board. If you wouldn't do it for a man, she shouldn't. But the other thing is that I'm not saying that like once you get married and have kids and then get divorced, you shouldn't be loved or you shouldn't find love or anything. But I just same way that I feel about Dakota, like, you need to work on yourself and you need to, like, heal yourself before you... I don't think she's done all that work. And her kids are babies. Like, you know what I mean? Like, honest, and that's where I think the heart, like, what you said comes to mind. Like, these people are going to be there for clout because how old is she? 28?
No, she's 31, 32.
Okay, 31, 32. Honestly, how many 31, 32-year-old men are like, yeah, I want somebody with 3 kids, 2 baby dads. You know what I mean? Like, on that, like, honest, are going to be like, oh, I'm going there for love because this is what I want.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and again, I hope that she goes on the show and she finds the love of her life and he doesn't break her heart because she needs that. I want her to find somebody because I love her and I just want her to be just as happy as she should be. But I just don't think this is the time. I think maybe 2 years from now or a year from now.
I don't think this is the way.
No.
I think it's also...
I would have rather seen her on Love Island. I'm going to be honest.
Yeah.
I would have rather seen her on Love Island than The Bachelorette.
Yeah, that would have been really good. But I just think it's not a good fit for her personality. And, you know, I feel like it's, dare I say, a little hypocritical. It's like, you want one... Like, that's kind of been the issue. Like, she's trying to step away from the swinging. She wants Dakota to stop talking to other women. But then you go on a show and you're dating 30 guys, basically.
Right.
It's like, and then I feel like, let's say she doesn't meet the love of her life. It's going to be like, I feel like she's, and I see clips all the time from The Bachelor and Bachelorette. So it's not just specific to Taylor. Every single one of them has a breakdown moment because they're like caught in a love triangle. They don't know who to choose. You know, they have this thing called fantasy suites where they basically, like, you can have sex with the person that you're, you know, and it's like all of those emotions are so heightened, and we kind of know how she deals with these situations already.
Yeah, that she seems to get attached very fast.
Yeah, I just want her to, like, not have that and, like, have this on television, on the internet for her kids to see when they grow up and not work out.
I'm going to be honest, I'm also worried about what her parents will think of her after this.
Oh, gosh. I know,
because you remember, her dad was really rough on her with the Dakota thing, and now it worries me that, you know... I mean, and this is no judgment because I feel like you should be able to sleep with who you want to, when you want to, whether it's the first date, second date, third date. You do you, and everybody should. But what if she likes 3 of the guys and she sleeps with 3 of them? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
her dad is gonna say something.
Well, she did talk about this on Call Her Daddy briefly. I don't really know. She didn't give a clear, like, inclination of where she stands on it. Like, when she does get to that point of fantasy suites. But basically, she's like, you know, if you knew I was the one, like, why did you sleep with other people? So she only gonna, like, try it out with people, like, one person then that she is maybe 100% in. But then how do you not know? Or what if it doesn't work out and then your fantasy suite with, like, person 1 passed, but you think person 2 is the clear winner, and you're like, I'm gonna sleep with this person, and you're like, that was, like, not great, but I can't try it out with 1 because I already, you know, like, I don't know. It's just, for her, I just don't know if it's a good idea. I mean, she's doing it, but, like, I just don't think, and I also think it's kind of, I don't know, I don't like that the Bachelorette franchise or ABC, whatever you want to call it, whoever decided this, I think it's, like, weird. Like, I feel like they're using Taylor for clout, too. It's like, because they've been kind of falling off. Like, there was one season with Jen Tran, they, like, picked out the worst guys. Like, guys had girlfriends. It was just, like, the guys were horrible. Like, really? They were just, she got a really bad group of guys. And it's like, they've been slacking. And it's like, okay, well, now we need to bring people back in. So let's use, like, the biggest name we've got here right now. Right. Who's, like, single. So, like, we can get people to tune in. And, like, yeah, but it's like, if you just pick the right people, like, Bachelorette fans are, like, literally stan. Yeah. So it's like, you just have to, like, make it entertaining. Pick the right guys who aren't there for clout, which I know is hard because the time say the right we live in. Sometimes. Yeah. It's so, like, I get it, but I don't know. And, like, I know a lot of people are like, oh, they should have put, like, Khloe Kardashian. Please, if you think a Kardashian's actually going to go on The Bachelorette, like,
Right.
No. They'll have, like, Keeping Up with the Bachelorette, you know, like, and they
Right.
make their own spinoff. They don't need ABC to host them. They host themselves.
Right. But then the other thing that I really made me realize that she's not the right one. She didn't tell Dakota.
I agree.
And to me, that is I see Dakota coming in like episode 10, or I don't know how many episodes. Say there's 12 episodes, and like the suite day, I guess, that they have the fantasy suite. I see them like having Dakota come and be like, I love you. Like something like, I feel like they're still not mature enough for this.
Yeah.
If you didn't tell him, that means that you
Are
still
afraid
have
of how
feelings.
he's going to react.
And you're afraid, because you guys still have feelings for each other. You guys are still sleeping with each other. And again, no judgment, but I just feel like.
But how did she not tell him, and she's leaving for like, I think they leave for like a month and a half or so, or
right,
2 months
he's got to
maybe.
watch the kids, his kid.
Yeah.
And then the other.
I think the
her
other
ex-husband has to watch.
Yeah, I think her ex-husband though knew. So it's just Dakota, which is kind of like,
again,
I don't know.
That's what I said. Yeah, it's weird. Like I said, I love her, and I hope that if she does it, she kills it, and she's the best Bachelorette, because, like I said, I love her. This isn't it. And I worry about her mental health more than anything.
I agree. And especially in the past 2 seasons, I mean, granted, she stuck up for herself, and she seemed in a better headspace in regards of friendship last season in season 2. Yeah. But, like, in regards to, like, with Dakota and with men, it just hasn't been... I mean, season 1, I mean, she was pregnant. So, like, it is what it is. And I guess season 2, she was postpartum. So, like, but I feel like just given the history, it's just not a good idea. Yeah, so we'll see how it goes. I am excited, though, for the new seasons of Secret Life and Mormon Wives coming out in November. I know, so excited for that. We didn't even talk about that. But, like, that's where I want to see Taylor. I want to see her in Secret Lives of Mormon Wives and Dancing with the Stars. That's it. Like, those are the only 2 places I want to see, like, these ladies.
Or Love Island. I wouldn't mind seeing Taylor on Love Island, because I feel like she would be so cool on there, and she could play the game, and she knows what it's about, and you know what I mean? Like, I feel like that's it.
I feel like, even though that's a great idea, I feel like I might be a little too, like, racy for her, given, like, her religious stance. Because even though, like, she's not such a prude, like, you haven't seen the show of Love Island. They do, like, challenges where they're, like, swinging with everybody, basically. So, and that's another hard thing she has to, make sure.
She wants to get over that, and I understand, like, she's probably doing it because, think about it, she said, like, she doesn't want people to know her as a swinger. So it's like, this will give her a new outlook. This will, I guess, reach audiences maybe that she wouldn't have, normally hit yet or whatever. So, like I said, I'm hoping that if she doesn't find love, I hope she does find love, but if she doesn't, I'm hoping that this gives her more money for her and her children, and she gets everything. And she doesn't have brings in brand deals, and it doesn't mess up her mental health. Yeah, and it doesn't mess up her mental health. She comes out of there stronger and girl powery. I like that.
Yeah, I hope. Yeah, exactly. I hope, if anything, she is like, I'm just here for a check.
Yep.
Like, obviously she has to say she's not, and she wants to find love, but I hope that, like, in her core, she's like, listen, this is going to make me more money. It'll be fun. And I need to get away for a little bit.
Right.
Just with everything. We'll see. But let's talk about a show that we actually do want to see now. Dancing with the Stars. I'm so excited. And we decided to do a Dancing with the Stars draft. So Jessica has never watched Dancing with the Stars. I am, 5 seasons in now. So I'm not like an OG Dancing with the Stars watcher. So we have our people here. Should I ask Siri to pick who's going to go first? Pick a color.
Yeah, me.
Yeah.
Purple.
Okay, so I'll be pink.
Okay.
And you'll be purple. Pick a color, pink or purple.
Yellow is the complementary color of pink, which means it is the first color you should consider when looking for colors that go with it. Yellow and pink bring out the best aspects of one another.
No, pick purple or pink. One of those 2. Oh my gosh, okay. Let me ask ChatGPT. ChatGPT knows where. Please pick a color for me, purple or pink. Oh, let me take out please. I heard, like, when you say please, the ChatGPT, like, it F's it all up.
Causes more energy.
Pink. See, thank you, ChatGPT.
So you go first.
So I will go first. So my first pick, so there's 14 couples. So each of us will get
7.
So my first pick, oh my gosh, this is hard. I'm gonna go with my girl Daniela. So Dylan Efron is going to be my first pick. All right.
Okay, mine is Whitney and Mark.
Wait, why am I so dumb? How did I not pick that? I literally had the opportunity to pick
and
them.
I wrote it on my first line that's who I wanted. And then when you were like, oh, I'd go first, I was like, oh, she's going to pick Whitney and Mark.
I'm so dumb. Well, I'll go with Jen and Jan.
Okay.
I'm so
going to
dumb.
Go with Jordan and Ezra.
That's a good one. Okay. I will take Alex and Val. I know you weren't going to pick her anyway.
I would never pick her. Then I'm going to go with...
Surprised you haven't picked your boy yet.
No, he's going to be... I don't think he's going far. As much as I like him, I don't think he's going far, so I'm trying to go with winners. I'm going to go with Topanga.
I was going to pick her next. Okay. Damn. So, Justin...
You could have, because I would have never picked Alex, so you could have had Danielle and picked Alex the second time.
Danielle's partner, Pasha, is married to Dylan's partner, Daniela.
Okay.
Yeah. And Val, who
I'm not
was
gonna
paired
lie,
with Alex,
I did want Dylan. I was going for Dylan. He's on my list. So yeah.
Man, okay. Now we're getting. I'm gonna go with. Man, this is hard now. Okay, I'm gonna go with Robert Irwin.
I'm gonna go with what's her Lauren Jigglurgry and Brandon.
Oh, Lauren Haregi. That's a good one. That's a
Is
good
that
one.
right? Okay.
Okay, I am going to go with Scott and Riley.
Okay. I am going to go with
I just heard my husband sneeze from all the way up here. It was the most obnoxious sneeze. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
It's okay. I'm going with Baron and Britt. I went with my guy now.
Okay. I really loved Britt. She actually had a dance partner 2 seasons ago. He was deaf. And oh my God, just one of their, like, I don't know why, like it's just, I guess because I've taught my kids sign language and I think it's just so cool and like such a great way to communicate with people who have, you know, kind of like a disability in a sense to, you know, it's very like unique, that I think, because I don't know many people that know how to do sign language.
Nope.
So I love them. I thought they were so good. And she actually ended up marrying him.
Did she?
Yes, they just got married, like recently too. They got engaged and thank God they got married.
And she learned sign language for him?
Very cute. All right, is it my turn?
Yeah.
My God, not a lot of people were getting down to it. Okay,
I'll
go with Elaine.
I knew you were going there.
I know, I had to, sorry.
That's okay. I'm going to go with Corey and Jenna.
Jenna's really good, so that's like a good pick. And
please take the other one I don't want.
I know. I was gonna do it for you because she's not gonna. She's not gonna go far. So I'll just take Hilaria.
And I don't think Andy's going far either. So
yeah, these are yeah. But I will say, like, I hate Gleb. He's like just gives me the ick. So I texted you a couple days ago. Like, you need to watch this new reality show called Love Thy Nader. And it follows swimsuit model, what the hell is it called? Swim Illustrated?
Oh, Sports Illustrated.
Oh my God, I just had like a stroke. Sports Illustrated model Brooks Nader and her 3 sisters.
Yes.
They move all to the city. She dated Gleb because she was partnered with him last season. And I will say the reality show is giving like a very early Keeping Up with the Kardashians vibe, like good reality show. Okay. But it is so like, Gleb gives me the ick. Brooks is like 28 and he's 41. And he's like, I love you, baby. And he's like making out with her in front of her sisters. And I'm like, you're a grown ass man. Like, and who has a teenage daughter. You just have to watch it to like hate on him. Because like I could not believe this grown ass man was doing this. And then she finds out he was like cheating on her. But you gotta watch it. Okay, so these are our teams. I have Dylan Efron, Jen Affleck, Alex Earl, Robert Irwin, Scott Hoying, Lane Hendricks, and Hilaria Baldwin. And Jess has Whitney Levitt, Jordan Childs, Danielle Fischel, Lauren Haregi, Baron Davis, Corey Feldman, and Andy Richter.
Yes.
I am excited. And the winner just gets bragging rights.
Yeah, that's
here.
it.
Yeah. So I'm excited. While I feel like I may have the popular vote of like Alex and stuff, I still think Whitney is,
Whitney's
she's
my
the
girl.
one.
I mean, I want her to win. Like, I am so rooting for Whitney.
Yeah.
Her and Taylor are the reason I watch the show.
Whitney's a good
I'm
one.
not even going to attempt it because I said it 3 times wrong when I was talking to my daughter this afternoon. So I was like, I'm not even going to attempt it.
Oh my God.
They're the reason I watched the show. I love Jen too, and I want her to go far. So I'm not saying that, but Whitney is the one that I would love to see win.
Yeah. No, and her being with Mark, oh, so good. But
and she's like I've seen like clips of their practices. Have you seen any?
Yes.
He's like whipping her around, and and I'm like, okay.
Did you see the one where Jan is like flipping Jen all around too?
And like, dragging her. Yeah. Because she's so little. That
girl is 2 months postpartum.
Yeah.
Like, amazing.
She's like 3 feet tall, and like 10 pounds.
She's so cute.
She is. She's the cutest little thing. So.
Yeah. So that is our Dancing with the Stars draft. We will keep you updated each week with that. It's starting next week, the 16th. I'm so excited.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's my dad's birthday, so I'm excited.
Oh my God, my mom's birthday is the 14th. Why are we like always so... No, yeah, we're always in the same,
area. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yay.
Crazy.
Okay. Yeah, I love it. Okay. So the last thing we're going to chit-chat about is...
that everybody's been chit-chatting about.
Yes. The unknown number, the High School Catfish. I was telling my daughter about it, and I was like, you knew, going into it, you knew who the catfish was.
I did.
I did not. So when I tell you, my flabbers were gasted because when they said who it was, I was like, the whole time, I was like, Miss Ma'am, you can't do that. Like,
yeah.
I
am very sad.
It broke my heart.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how do you hate your daughter that much? You hate your daughter if you can do that to her.
Yeah. So I will say, I saw it on TikTok and I wasn't going to watch it because I was just scrolling on TikTok. I saw Kendra's face and everybody's like, this is the worst mom in America. How could she do that to her daughter? Like, it's not even like they gave me an option to like not be spoiled. You know, it's like, it was kind of just out there. So I knew it was her. And then you texted me and I was like, let me just watch it with my husband. We watched it together because I knew he didn't know anything about it. So... and it was so weird. And he's really good at, like, guessing things and predicting. And he, literally, like, 10, 15 minutes in, he's like, it's one of the parents. And then I waited. I was like, okay. I was like, oh, you think? And I didn't tell him I knew right away.
Right.
So then, like 30 minutes in, I was like, so which one of the parents do you think it is? And he goes, oh, no, I don't think it's one of their parents. I think it's, like, a parent, like one of the friend's parents. And I was like, okay. And then we got a little closer and I was like, by the way, I know who it is. He's like, well, don't tell me. I was like, no, I'm not. I don't have the same reaction as you because I know the ending, And he's like, okay, Jess. When they said it was Kendra, his jaw dropped and he was so angry. And he is a very passionate person and he, like, I know all dads are like great dads, but like, well, most dads, whatever. He is such a passionate father and a parent, and he was like, how could she? She better go to jail. Do you know she did jail time? She better go to jail. Who says that? Why is nobody asking her why she told her to her daughter to kill herself? That's the question. Right? That's the question. Like, and he was like freaking out, and I was like, I know. I knew who it was, though, so I wasn't as like, my flabbers were not casted, but it was still like, I did not know all of the things that were said to her. So that was like, yeah. And like, I'm sorry.
Creamy? Gross.
No.
But the fact that you're saying creamy to your 14-year-old child, like that is where I was like, the line is drawn. Even, the killing, that was horrible. What is your problem? What if she killed herself? How would you feel if your child actually killed herself? But the fact that she said creamy so many times.
Yeah.
To a 14-year-old and 15-year-old. Oh.
Yeah, I forget. Was it her cousin who said it? Is like, she kept talking about, like, you know, sexual things like hand jobs and blow jobs and all that stuff. And it's like, why are you talking to, like, you're insinuating that your daughter should be doing that? She's 14.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
You know,
That's
crazy.
What if your daughter decided to give it up because this person is pressuring her and she thinks that she, you know, has to do that to keep her boyfriend? What would you do if your daughter just decided to have sex and she accidentally got pregnant or something like that? Like, I know that the lady wasn't thinking at all, because she's a horrible person. She's a horrible mother. Like I said, I don't understand how you could hate your child so much to cause that kind of pain for 22 months. Oh my God, I wanted to punch her in the face. Like, I really did. I was so... And then when she held her and she was like, I can't leave her. She needs me. And I was like, she doesn't need you.
Oh my
she
God,
doesn't. Unless she wants to kill herself, she doesn't need... Yeah. I was like, this bitch is crazy. It hurt my feelings so bad. And you knew it was jealousy, because her daughter was a cutie pie, and she looked like Quasimodo, as the people on TikTok keep calling her. They said she was Quasimodo. But she was ugly, and her daughter was so cute. And it's like, you hate your daughter, or and then, like, because you know how, like, once you watch something, then you go down, like, the rabbit hole of, like, trying to find out stuff. So, like, did you see that, like, I don't know, there was a newspaper that did a whole article on it, and apparently, like, she was in love with the boy.
Yeah, I figured it had to be. That's the craziest thing.
They
That's
said that
thing.
she would go to his events that weren't in the state after the kids broke up, to watch the son, and she would, like, paint her face, and she would text him and ask him how he was doing, like, inappropriate stuff to do.
Why didn't they lead with that? They didn't mention any of that in the beginning of the documentary.
Because they said that in order for her to be in it, she didn't want a lot of the stuff. Because she was, and that was another thing. How are you going to have the villain in being like, we were...
Why would you want to do that?
Called the cops and we didn't... What? Alyssa, I just couldn't wrap my head. Like, it really took me. I had to sit with it. Like, when I was telling you, I was like, this is crazy. I didn't even know at the time that she was the person. I'm just saying, like, this is crazy. Like,
yeah.
I think at the time that I texted you that, and I was like, you have to watch that, it was when whoever the person was that was doing it, like Kendra now, but when they sent the text to the girl who lived in a different county and her mom.
Oh, yeah.
Like that, when he started and I was like, this is crazy. But I do have to say, watching that, the girl, because the mom said she wasn't the one who initiated it. Like, people had started doing it, and then she just continued it. I think it was that one bully girl. And you can't tell me that she wasn't a bully. Her and her two friends, and her parents are bullies. Her parents are mean people, and watching them, I was like, I know why your daughter's a bitch, because you guys are horrible people. They even said that the mom last year for Halloween, I don't know when this happened, Chloe's mom, last year for Halloween, dressed up as a scarecrow and put Kendra's face, like she was Kendra, but like dressed up as a scarecrow in a prison jumpsuit, and then she taped a picture of Kendra's face to her face. That's who she was for Halloween. Wow. Yeah. Thanks. So it was like, so you guys are the reason why your daughter, I mean, everybody in the documentary was like, oh, it's Chloe because she's mean.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I mean, like, so, but what they didn't show, one of Chloe's friends that was in that group of three, do you know that one of them was the boy's sister?
Owen's
sister? The boy who was Owen's sister. One of them was Owen's sister. No, and they like glossed over that. I found that out in the article that they were talking about.
Weird. I guess the blonde one, because she was blonde.
Yeah, I don't know, I don't remember. Yeah, one of them was, and I'm thinking to myself, like, they didn't even say it was Owen's sister. In my mind, Owen was an only child. I didn't know.
In my mind, yes. Because that's all I knew. Yeah,
and then that's what, as like putting it together, remember, because it wasn't Kendra who took the picture from the truck you remember the Christmas picture that the mom was like, it wasn't Kendra. Kendra wasn't there.
But I think they were.
I thought she wasn't.
That's the only thing that I'm super confused about, is how did they get that picture? They never really clarified that, because even if it wasn't Kendra, who was it?
Then I was like, maybe it was the sister and Chloe that were being mean at the beginning, and then, you know what I mean, like threw it in there and then kind of did, you know what I mean? But this is the thing that bothered me. I thought the cops were trash. First of all, my whole thought the whole time I was watching, I was like, oh, it's the principal. I don't know why. I just thought it was the principal. He gave me creepy vibes, and I was like, it's the principal. But the thing that I didn't understand is when the cops, first of all, this is a domestic violence situation. Not violence as in like physical violence, but there was definitely emotional violence. She should have been removed from the house before they told the daughter about what was going on. The mom should have been taken out of the house. She should not have been there to console her daughter because, that was crazy talk.
Yeah.
But then they didn't even come out and tell her what was really going on.
Yeah, she was super confused. And there's like this theory, and I think Chloe's parents mentioned it, that like Lauren and her dad were in on it because
I don't think they were.
I don't think so either.
The dad was too mad.
No, the dad 100% was not involved in this whatsoever. Yeah. I feel so bad for that man. Please, when he started crying over how he lost his storage unit, like...
Yes, that, and the fact that he didn't know that she got fired from her job.
It's crazy. Crazy talk.
Oh, my God, I was like, there was no way he was involved, but she thought the girl... No. I think the girl was just detached. I just
think she didn't understand fully. Like, what do you mean, like...
because he never came out and said it was your mom sending you the messages. He didn't say that. Yeah. He was like, well, we found that your mom had some messages on her phone, and she's like, okay. Yeah. I don't think she knew at the time that she was the one.
Or it didn't click like oh, my mom was the one who told me to go kill myself, because it's like you're like so shocked at like,
because as a child, you don't want to believe that your mom would say that to you. Make fun of your body when you know it's an insecurity that you have.
I hate that the producer or whoever was interviewing her gave her the out of like, do you feel like you just said that to Lauren because that's how you feel about yourself? She's like, yeah. I think, and I'm like, no, you literally just gave her an excuse. That did not cross her mind.
No. And then when she made the comment about, people do a lot of things and they don't get caught. Like, people are drunk driving and don't get caught. Ma'am, what?
That was wild. What? That was wild. Honestly, really quick, back to, like, the pedophile thing. I think that was the thing my husband was, like, most upset about. He was like, this is 100%, like, a pedophile case. Like, this is not, like, it's cyberbullying, but, like, why is nobody... like,
it's sexual harassment.
Exactly.
You were talking about blowjobs and cream and sexual positions with this person. Yeah, that is child pornography.
A minor?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I didn't understand that either. I was like, I'm confused. What? Like...
Yeah. I don't know how. But then the two... like,
because the cops sucked, like, let's be honest.
I thought the school handled it well, I will say.
The school handled it well, but I don't think the cops did.
I mean, I feel like in situations like this, I feel like...
Yeah, they don't.
I don't know. It's like always something. I mean, thank God for the FBI, right?
And that's why I thought it was the principal, because he was like, yeah, we would find out what time she got the thing, and then I check I checked the cameras to make sure to see who was on the phone. But then in that article, they said that the mom, because they said that some of the time, the reason that they were so big on the whole school thing was that the Wi-Fi that was being used was the school Wi-Fi, which is why they thought it was a student. Apparently the mom, because she had no job, would drive and sit across the street from the high school and use their Wi-Fi.
Shoot, that's crazy.
I mean, the lengths that this lady went to keep it up for 22 months was,
for what?
Like I said, and then I read that, because during the documentary, what's the daughter's name?
Lauren.
Lauren was like, oh yeah, I can't wait to talk to my mom. I'm going to wait for her to get out of prison kind of thing. So they said she's in college now and she's going to school for criminology.
Yes.
And then they said that now that she's been in school, she does not want to talk to her mom.
Yeah, I know she said that she hasn't seen her daughter in like a year and a half.
She's not allowed to see her until sometime in 2026. She's not physically allowed. She's not allowed to see her until 2026. First, Lauren and her were like texting and emailing, which is another thing. How do you let somebody who cyberbullies her daughter have access to a computer where she can email her daughter while she's in jail?
Yeah, it's crazy. I just genuinely don't I feel so bad for Lauren because it's like such a hard place to be put in. It's like, well, it's my mom, but then you like really think about it and you're like, wait, what? Like, I just feel like there's such a crazy, but honestly, like, Kendra being in the documentary is so narcissistic. It's so narcissistic. Like, that is like number one narcissist. You put yourself in the documentary that you're your own villain in. That's crazy. That you're enemy number one.
Villain. You're like, we called the cops and we didn't know
you're
who
trying
was
to play
doing
the good
this,
guy.
and I had to, every time she came to me, I had to tell her, you're beautiful. And I'm thinking to myself, like, that's why when they said Kendra, I was like, what? I was like, oh my goodness, what are you talking about? She was like trying to be, Olivia Benson at the frickin' school. You know what I mean? Like,
I know.
And it was you the whole time?
Not in Kendra's defense, but obviously she has like some sort of mental illness. There's and like, not saying that that's an excuse, but like, that's crazy talk. That's just, I feel so bad, and honestly, I like feel bad for Lauren and Owen not like talking to each other anymore.
I feel like Owen also might think that Lauren was involved a little bit, because did you hear, like, at the end, it was kind of like a little bit of hatred. He was like, I'm never going to talk to her again. And I was like, she didn't do it. Her mom is crazy. It's not her. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but if like Chloe's parents think that like her dad and Lauren were involved, I'm sure like Chloe probably thinks that too. And then that's like spread around
the
school.
whole town. The town is like 300 people. Yeah. You know what I mean?
And but that goes around town and...
Yeah. And so he doesn't, I mean, I hope he can look back on it and see, maybe when the documentary comes out and like he sees the cam footage and all that kind of stuff, maybe he will see like she did not know. You know what I mean?
The dad reaction, the dad definitely didn't, but her reaction did not give, this is new information to me. It's not like convincing.
But in the article, apparently a lot of people thought it was the mom. In the article,
Chloe's dad said that.
Yeah, but I don't listen to him. But people outside they said that the secretary at the school told the principal the day that they came and reported it. I bet you it's her mom.
That's crazy.
The day that it was reported, because she coached him. She volunteered to coach him as like a track coach or something like that. And the secretary thought it was weird. She thought she was obsessed with Owen, and that they said it was like the first or second day of like after they found out what was going on and they started calling people in. They said the secretary said it. They said she was like, it's her mom. Her mom is doing it.
That's crazy.
Case solved. Third day.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I also I know you don't listen to The Toast, but I listened to it, and they talked about this as well. And I follow Claudia Oshry on Instagram. And she posted a text between her and her sister, who also is on they host The Toast together. Mm-hmm. And they were like, obviously it's the mom because she has tech neck. Because she's like, that's the neck of somebody who's on their phone all day. And I'm like, honestly, so true.
That's so funny, tech neck. I love that.
Isn't that funny? But like, I mean... honestly, so true. But
like I said, I was shocked.
Yeah, I kind of wish I did have that experience of like, I didn't know what was coming. But honestly, like, seeing my husband's reaction was hysterical, and like, but then it was like funny, and then he like started getting very mad, and I was like, okay, it's not funny anymore. It's like,
okay, calm down, this is over. She's in jail.
Yeah,
calm down.
Yeah. But no, like the whole thing with like her obsession with Owen, like that needs to be talked about. And if I was to Owen's mom, I would
get a restraining order.
Yeah, I would take this to the next level for sure.
Like I said, I do have to say, while Lauren's dad didn't seem like he, I don't want to say it, I don't want to sound bad when I say this. It didn't seem like he was really in the loop with everything that was going on.
Yeah.
Whether it's he worked so hard that he kind of let Kendra run the show, or he just turned a blind eye to, he was like, oh, this is teenage drama and I don't really care kind of thing. But it seems like he turned a blind eye because he loved his wife, because he didn't know that she was fired from 2 jobs. He didn't know that she was, for months, wasn't going to work. I don't know, you know what I mean? So if his anger made me feel so much better.
Yeah.
Like when he was like, you need to get out of the house. You need to get out of the house now. And he was like,
yeah.
I'm happy you guys are here because and then he called her parents and was like, you have to come get her. Like, I was like, thank you, sir. Like, I felt like he was the only one doing anything for Lauren because the cops were just like, like, why didn't they arrest her right away? They should have arrested her right away. They're letting her go with her mom and dad. And then I found out that the house that they were in, where it all happened, was his mom's house because they lost their house. So they were at his mom's house.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
And when
so,
you get
like
into
I said,
something, you really deep dive.
Yeah, I deep dive. I go down a rabbit hole. It's really bad. I shouldn't, but it's just because I had so many questions because I felt like there were things we didn't know and there were things that like didn't make sense.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they glossed over a lot of stuff and I was like, well, I must know. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I want to like another update from Lauren on like how she's doing and like get her dad his storage unit stuff. I feel so bad for that. Like,
I know, that was rough.
I seen like old guys cry like that. Like, it hurts my feelings. Like old little grandpas, even though he's not a grandpa, but you know what I mean?
Yeah, but he looked like a older.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the way Kendra was talking about all this stuff, he could have been a grandpa if Lauren followed through with this stuff. But yeah, it was crazy. It's like one of those things that you're like, is this real life? Like, this is not real life. No way.
Yeah. And it's funny because when I was telling my daughter about it, she's like, I don't want to hear about one of your murder documentaries. I was like, no, nobody died in this. This is, so I was telling her everything. I even told her she was so grossed out. I was like, she was using words like creamy. And I was like, oh.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah. It was gross. It was gross, the stuff that she was saying to her own child.
But why was she even talking like that? It's like, do kids like talk like that? Like hashtag bang or like the way she was texting, like I like turned to my husband and I was like, are these actual texts that she literally wrote like word for word or like letter for letter? Like that's why is she talking like that? You know?
It was weird. It was weird. Yeah. And we should have, I'm going to say, reading back the text now, you should have known it was an adult because it wasn't teenage.
Yeah.
It wasn't teenage talk. You know what I mean? Like I said, I don't know any teenager who says creamy or uses the word cream, make him cream. That's like an old time. I feel like that's like an 80s porn thing. You know what I mean? Like that's, I don't know, but I don't watch 80s porn, but I feel like that's when it was popular.
Yeah.
You know?
It was very sad, very like shocking, disgusting.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was... my thing was like, I asked my husband this, he's like, I don't know. I wonder if like they pitched this idea to Netflix or like did somebody make this or like, and then they brought the documentary to Netflix. Like, how did this come about? Because like wild that they have Kendra in this. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy.
And I think that's what the shock was. Like when you find out it's Kendra, you're like, what? She's in it. What do you mean?
Yeah.
She's sitting there and you guys are talking with her and laughing and joking with her. And I'm like, to this day, there's no remorse there. Like there was not an ounce of remorse, even because she was already in jail. Yeah. Like there was still no remorse.
Yeah. Her excuses, especially like knowing, it was after the fact, like she already served her time and this is still her statements and how she felt. Yeah. Crazy.
I wouldn't have given her Lauren the time of day for that.
No.
Especially because I think what I might have done if I was Netflix was interview her, see what she has to say. And if she was remorseful or if she, you know what I mean? Like she's like, I want to go on there to show that I've changed, then maybe I would have let her. But to sit up there and do all those excuses and make those excuses, she wouldn't have got the time of day on my documentary.
Yeah, well, some people now, I mean, like she is literally, as of right now, well, not as of right now, but like most hated person in the world, you know, like like it's crazy.
She should be.
Yeah, very crazy. It's just crazy people out in the world, and how could you do this to your own kid? That's the hard thing. I just like, and everybody's shock on their face, like when it happened, like they're like, I had no words, even though we didn't get their initial reaction, like the dad. I'll never get over it. Poor guy.
Nope. Yeah.
But that is our show. Do you have anything going on this weekend?
No, not this weekend. But next weekend is my daughter's college, like, parent weekend.
Oh, yeah.
Like, parents get to go. So not this weekend, but next weekend. This weekend is my husband's traveling this weekend. So, and again, my daughter's working. So I have to do some shopping. I might do some shopping. I don't know. I'll see. But I need some clothes. So
gotcha.
maybe I'll do that this weekend. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, I kind of hate going to the store and trying things on.
I hate shopping. I hate it with a passion. I hate shopping with a passion. I might just like Amazon myself things and then just do returns.
You know what's the thing that's like specifically for you? It's like you have to, like, you have to do it. Like I've gotten to the point where I don't need anything, but maybe I'll go look, and like I do it for like pleasure now rather than like business.
Yeah, well, like I told you, my office is freezing all the time, and now that it's getting colder, which I'm kind of upset about because, like, I know that we always have, like, first fall, but I feel like first fall is going to be fall. Like, I don't know that we're going to get back in the 80s, 90s. You know what I mean? Like, you know how in Atlanta it gets, like, you get, like, that first cool, and then it goes back up to, like, the 100s, and it's humid and it's gross. I feel like we're at I don't think it's going to get humid anymore. I think it'll still hit the 80s, but I think the humidity is gone, which I love. Yeah. I don't mind that. But I feel like we're not going to get second summer. Like, you know how, like, we always get second summer? That's what I was kind of hoping for, and it's usually in August, but it didn't happen.
I mean, fall break is coming up for us, and I feel like sometimes that weather turns out pretty nice, so Let's shall see. Let's hope. Yeah, right now it's just kind of low 80s, which I personally am okay with.
I'm okay with it. I like the heat. Like, you know me, I like to keep the heat as... Now, the one positive thing is my running has been wonderful because I can breathe. It's not humid. It's, like, nice, and it was, like, 59 degrees today when I went out and ran, and I was like, I could take deep breaths, and it's not, like, I'm sweltering. So,
I really want to get back into my running. I haven't ran since our 5K, but I did do the Pilates. Did my Pilates
have you continued?
program. I've continued. Yes. Yep. I've worked out every day since Sunday. Okay. And so I did Pilates, and so I'm like alternating. I'm doing 2 live programs. One is Pilates 3 days a week, and then the other one is like weightlifting 3 days a week. So I'm like just like one day is Pilates, one day weightlifting, and it's 6 days, and I only get like 1 day off I'm giving myself, but it's only like 25-30 minutes. I'm like, I could do that like every day, and it's kind of giving me that. Go ahead.
You made me feel really bad today.
Why?
Because I got out of the shower and I went and laid in bed, and I was like, oh, I'm just going to rest until we have to tape tonight. And all of a sudden it came up and it was like, Alyssa closed all 3 of her rings. And I was like, bitch. And so I was just laying in bed. I was like, oh. But I'm proud of you. You know what I mean? I'm just joking.
You ran this morning, though. I saw your notification, too.
Yeah, but I never close my rings. Like, because I run. I don't know. I just don't. It doesn't, it always says like I'm 80 calories away or whatever. So, yeah, I just don't close.
Yeah, I mean.
But yeah, it was like, and I was on the phone with my daughter, and I was like, look, Alyssa just makes me look so lazy because I just got the notification that she closed all her rings. My daughter was like, get up and do something. And I was like, nah, I just showered. I'm not going to do it.
Yeah, no. No, I have made it a mission to do that. But I will say, like, the first couple days, just between the Pilates and, like, then the weightlifting, it was like glutes and hamstrings. So I was doing a lot of legs, squats, and things like RDLs that I haven't done in a long time. Between the Pilates hurt on my obliques and my chest and my like all this, and then with the weightlifting pain of like my inner thighs, my quads, my hamstrings, I was like penguin. I was like, oh, everything just hurts. I was like, I can't even walk straight. Like I literally was like waddling because it hurt. But now it's like better. I feel better now. My legs still hurt a little bit, and tomorrow is another leg day. But I feel like I'll be fine, come next week. It's just the first week of like, I haven't worked out in almost a month or a month at that. So it's kind of my fault. But I mean, the Pilates is rough. I literally have never done like a HIIT workout where I'm like, I can't do this. Like the Pilates, I literally am like, I can't do it anymore. Like I can't. And I feel good about it, but like,
But it's hard.
It hurts.
It's hard. The Pilates is hard. Yeah, it was funny. Because I told you I wanted to get into Pilates. And I was looking for like Instagram will show you like the Pilates board, like the one that you get in your house. And I was like, should I do that? And then I found something that they were like Five Below. It doesn't have the board, but it has like the mat and the ball and the hoop and like the leg weights and stuff. And I was like, so I might just go there and pick up some of that stuff.
You don't even need that.
I don't.
You don't even. I don't have any of that stuff. You could literally just go on YouTube and do like Pilates, like
I know,
mat yoga.
I do need a mat.
And it's just as hard.
A mat because I can't be doing it on the floor. But
I mean, if you have carpet, but yeah, I would prefer a mat.
Yeah, I need a mat because then I sweat and I don't. Yeah, no.
Yeah, that's why I said.
But yeah, so I need to get into it. I keep telling myself I'll start Monday, and then just like you said, my period's come in this week, so I'm definitely not starting on Monday. I might, since my husband will be traveling on like our run day, I might go to the gym at work for like Monday and Tuesday, and then maybe even Wednesday, and like do maybe weights, and then do my cardio on Tuesday, and then do maybe more weights or something to start, because I need to do something. I need to do like leg day, even if I just use the machines,
Yeah, like
for
3
sets, something like that. I don't know, because I don't want to run by myself outside at 4 a.m.
Understood.
I don't want to do that.
I get that. So that's it. What did I say? Yeah, I just have soccer this weekend and a birthday party, so fun stuff,
Well, I can't wait for you to tell us how your daughter did in soccer when she tries it this weekend. I'm excited for that.
I'm curious.
So. Yeah.
I will give you the update next week. So that is our episode, and we will talk to you next time.
Okay, bye.